Hi, in this session we are going to learn how to use self-healing locators in Rapise. I am Dennis, Principal Software Developer at Inflectra. If during or after this session you will have any questions, please use the chat window for this advanced topic. Let's get started. I am going to demonstrate how self-healing locators help to update tests when an application under test changes. I will take 3 versions of WordPress. They were released with approximately 3-year gap, so we may expect that some changes were really introduced over the years. So I have a test implemented for WordPress 3.9. and I'm going to update it and make it working for WordPress 4.9. Then I will update it to work on WordPress 5.4. As you can see, it is a real-life situation. Developers release new versions of software and testers have to update their tests. Here is the test for WordPress 3.9. Before creating it, I added web recorder configuration, also known as web application profile. The previous session was exactly about web application profiles, and if you missed this session, you may read about web app profiles in the docs. Let's look at recorded locators for some of the objects. So you may see that they are pretty good and they should survive after small changes to the application, but it may not be the case if you are upgrading to a version of an application after 3 years of development. Also, before recording the test, I enabled self-healing locators. Here is the flag G_AI enable that turns on self-healing locators. You need to enable it in test prepare function. So during recording, Rapise captured not only standard XPath for an element, but Rapise also captured self-healing locators. If we will open objects.js and scroll it a bit, we will see the self-healing locator. Here it is. When Rapise captures it, it remembers all the attributes of elements and also attributes of all parent elements of this element. So when traditional XPath gets broken, Rapise uses information from self-healing locators. We will see it in action pretty soon. I modified my test a bit to quickly switch between WordPress instances, and these are corresponding URLs for home and login pages in WordPress. What you can see here is a map. It is described in the documentation. So this is the way how you may put data into RVL spreadsheet. We are looking at the main RVL spreadsheet that executes steps that are positioned on other sheets. So this is the high-level representation of my test scenario. And the sheets are building blocks of my test. So what I have here? On the install sheet, I have steps that perform installation of WordPress. Also, I have login, logout, sheet that modifies some settings in WordPress, part that adds a new post in the system, adding a new comment to this post, and deleting this post from the system. I will now run my test to show it in action. Switching to the main RVL tab and clicking on play button on the toolbar. So first, the test should install WordPress, supplying database name and database user credentials. Now WordPress user credentials. Installation is in progress. Now we are logging into WordPress. and the test should now go to settings and allow comments to post without admin approval. So now the test adds the new post, and then I expect it to add a comment to this post. Here we go, and the comment is added. And the last part of the test is to delete the post from the system. Go into the list of posts, delete it, login out, test execution is successful. It is now time to upgrade my test to WordPress 4.9 and then WordPress 5.4. I will show you how self-healing locators work and what to do when self-healing locator cannot fix an object. This is also very important. Upgrading to WordPress 4.9. So to do this, first I will change configuration and move this keyword to the second line in this table. So we will use all the data for WordPress 4.9. And I will be executing my test in parts. So first, let's see how installation works. So I'm hitting play selection. Let's see, navigating to the home page. And I have a suspicion that the test will fail because the beginning of the installation is different. Yeah, so let's see what we have here. I see that Rapise enabled self-healing mode and tried to find something that resembles create a configuration file button that we had in WordPress 3.9. But obviously there is no such a button here. And Rapise finds some suitable candidate. Here is the screenshot of this candidate. And here we can see the differences in attributes of recorded and found element. And what's interesting here is this number, 99%. So Rapise says that probability that the element that was found matches the element that we need is 91%. And actually this is a pretty low number. And the threshold that is configured in Rapise is 96%. So by default, if probability is less than 96%, the match is considered invalid, and Rapise says, I did not find anything really suitable for an element, so fix the test manually. So this is what I am going to do. So go into RVL, my install tab here, install sheet, and I will comment the first line that clicks on create a configuration button, and I will record another step that clicks on this continue button. So I hit record and clicking continue. Here we go, and inserting the step here. So let's go back in the installation, and I will run my test one more time. So returning to RVL and selecting these two lines for playback. Right clicking and play selection again. So let's see. Rapise clicks and enters the values. So far so good. Works well. Entering the title, username. So the password. And it looks like installation of WordPress worked. Wow, that's very good. And what we see here, this is very interesting. So Rapise says that some objects were relearned during execution. Do you wish to update test objects? So I may safely click yes here, because Rapise will show me the object change manager, and here I will see what objects are different in the recorded test and in the test that we got after execution, after self-healing. So 3 objects are different. Let's expand them. And here we can see that during recording we had this XPath on the right in the destination column. And this is what Rapise fixed during self-healing locator. So looks like it's really the same button. It has a different XPath, but it is the button that we need. And the same is for your email and login buttons. So I'm going to copy all the relearned objects to the destination to update them in my test. And clicking OK. And this is my test report. Let's look at it in more details. So first, here is the self-healing details for run the install button. So let me expand it. And here we can see that the button that was expected and the button that was found, they're really the same buttons. The new button has different name, but it's still the same button. So self-healing did a great job. And the probability of the match is 96%. So this is really what we need. No need to fix anything manually, and automatic procedure worked really well. So let's see what else we have here. Login button is the same. It has different link behind it, but it's still the same button. And if I will scroll to the bottom, where is the last self-healing that we have? Here it is. It's in the middle, and this is the email. Probability is 98%, and what we see here is that attribute type has changed. This is what we can see from the details. Expected type attribute was text, and now it is email, but it's still the same field, obviously. So self-healing worked pretty well, and I will continue execution of my test. Now I will select the next portion and executing it. Rapise should log in into the application and change some settings. Let's see what we have. Settings changed successfully. Probably there are no changes in the application at all. And now we should see a new post created. Okay, logging out. And something has changed. Okay, what has changed? My account has changed. My account is what is in the right top corner. This is what opens menu. So we will see it later. Anyway, I will update this object, copy all to destination. Okay, and in the report we can see the difference. Let's scroll it. So this is what was recorded. Oh, this is the image viewer that shows the screenshot. If it is too small, you may zoom into it. And this is what really was found during execution. So correct element and XPath for it was fixed, and self-healing worked. Alright, so let's go next. And we will add comment. Selecting next 2 lines and running. It should navigate to WordPress, find the post, and add comment. This is amazing. 3 years passed, but the test still works. There are no such dramatic change in the application. So let's see what was fixed now. I see that the header of their new post is different. Let's update it anyway. Copy all to destination. Okay. Let's again see our report. And this is what was recorded and this is what was expected. For some reason it is gray. Anyway, the test failed. The test passed. The test passed obviously, and let's go next. We need to log in and delete our post. Right click in selection and play. So we need to log in into application and go to their list of posts and delete the first one. Seems it worked, and login out. So it worked without any repairs, so no changes in the application. All right. Let's clean our WordPress instance and run the test from the very beginning. And while it is running, let's see what we had to fix during the upgrade process. One step we recorded from scratch because the main screen, first screen of WordPress installation is different. In WordPress 3.9 it was create new configuration button, and in 4.9 it is now selection of the language and continue button. So we had no chances to fix this automatically with self-healing, so we fixed this step manually. After that, self-healing worked pretty well, and Rapise automatically fixed locators for 4 or 5 objects. So, and now we can see that the test is executing successfully. So the post was added and now it is deleted from the system. Very well. The next step will be upgrading the same test to WordPress 4.9. 5.4. Switching to WordPress 5.4. Moving this keyword to line number 7. And I will use the same strategy for the upgrade. I will be executing my test in parts. So, installation process. Let me check. I will make sure that WordPress instance is clean and run this part. So now we are in WordPress 5.4. And so far so good. Entering the credentials for the admin user. And something is wrong here. So let's see in the report. It should be shown very quickly. Here it is. Object is not found, admin password. And some match was really found with probability 95%. Let's expand it. And we were searching for password, but we found Rapise demo. Let me see. And Rapise demo is a site title. Obviously, this is the wrong object. It means that we will need to learn this object ourselves, fix it manually. Let's look at the line where our test failed. Here it is. Here we are expected to enter password into 2 fields, but if we will look at the application, there is just one password field, so we will need to fix the logic of our test. So I'm going to Rapise. I will just delete line number 18. Let's find this object in the object tree. Here it is. And I am now going to relearn it. So hitting relearn, and Rapise prompts me to point to the object where it is now. So I will now click on the object, and Rapise recalculates their XPath and self-healing locator for this object as well. We may test that it can be found now by flashing. Here it is, so it was found very well. I will resume execution of my test from this specific step. So right click and play from here. And let's see how it works. Install WordPress. Take some time, log in. So it was successful. Next part is to run adding a new post. So selecting it and play selection. So let's see how login works. Works fine. And actually 5.4 looks pretty much the same as 4.9. So settings work. And now the test should add a new post. Okay, something unexpected. I will close it. And I see that the test will fail now. And we will analyze why. So it takes some time for Rapise to determine that there is no way to find the object. Rapise always tries several attempts to find the object. And when all those attempts fail, Rapise displays the report. Let's see where is our object. Enter title here and where it is in RVL. Here we go. This is the place where we are entering the title for a new post. And actually, if we compare this interface with what we had in 4.9 and in 3.9, it is very different. And instead of fixing every object on this screen one by one, I'm going to simply delete everything and just re-record the full scenario from scratch, the part that enters the new post. So I hit record, clicking on the title and entering the new title and publishing our new post. Very well, and I finish recording. And appending the steps. Let's check that the steps that we just recorded work. So I will go to administration interface here and we'll run just this sheet at post. Play this sheet. And it should enter the new post without any issues. Yep. So the post has been added. Very well. I now proceed to the next steps of my test scenario. Post was added. We need to log out. So I play selection. And we should log out from our system. And by the way, interesting observation. Before the logout, we did not see their My Account and Logout menu items. They were hidden, but the test still worked. For some reason, those elements are hidden in the DOM and interacting with them is still possible. Next, we will run adding a comment. So play selection. We should go to the portal without logging in. So let's see if Rapise will find a welcome post. Looks like it is not found. So Rapise obviously found something and probability was pretty low and 92%. So I will simply relearn this welcome object. So I select relearn and clicking on it. And I may now run my add comment part one more time. And the comment is added, so those fields are still recognized in 5.4. What's next? And next we need to log in and delete our post, so I am running this part. Here we go, login is successful. Go into all posts, selecting the first one, deleting it, and now Rapise should log out. And I think that we will see, oh, it works very well. So everything, all parts were executed, and we updated all the objects that we had to make this test working. And the last phase is to run the whole test. So I am cleaning up WordPress instance and hitting play. And while the test is executed, I will summarize what we had to do when we upgraded to 5.4. Rapise did not automatically fix locators in this case compared to when we upgraded from 3.9 to 4.9, and we had to fix a few objects ourselves manually, and we used relearned feature for that. And we even had to relearn the sequence of steps that were created in new post. So instead of relearning all objects one by one, we just relearned the whole process. We recorded the whole process, and this is fine. So let's compare the upgrade process from to 4.9 and to 5.4. In the first case, Rapise fixed 5 objects for us, and in the second case, we had to do update manually, and this is okay. Still, in more than a half cases, automatic self-healing really worked. So what's happening with our execution? We are waiting for the logout. And when it is finished, we may consider our upgrade process successful. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this information useful. I am Dennis from Team Rapise at Inflectra. Thank you for joining me today.